Hello, welcome back to Eternal Strands. We're gonna go here and compile some research on the grand gates that the Eye had kept secrets from us all, or that only he had access to in the past. Oh,
Oh no.
How tight were the pants exactly, American?
Maybe it's the next Enclave innovation. Why enchant when you can snub and use it? I swear, you two are worse for hazing than my group heads.
yeah. I like the small camp dialogues around. It's quite fun stuff. But yeah, I think we're nearing the end. I only have one epic hand quest left. Don't know if we'll be doing it in this episode or not. I do think we have, if I remember correctly here. Yes, it's only one more of the Nova arc as well. So if we run into it, we'll grab it, But other than that, we'll just continue the main story, It feels like it's closing in, okay? So, let's go more details on the source. I'm most interested in the Grand Gate stuff, because that seems to be, that the fact that there might be multiple Grand Gates is what we might be moving forward with, at least in my theory, right? So the source, attached is a heavily redacted report on the location or object known as the source. It seems to be some kind of briefing for Enclave politicians with newly gained security clearance. The source is a natural fount of magic located deep underground, discovered during the early stages of the Enclave settlement. It was quickly found that objects exposed to it would rapidly redacted. The coral-like mineral surrounding it seems to be immune to this effect. After several weeks of meetings with high clearance individuals, it was decided that this natural formation must be exploited. Our highest performing engineers were recruited from across the Enclave, sworn to secrecy, and put to work attempting to understand the location's mechanics. This work was put on hold once an experiment revealed that the coral acted as an extremely efficient and low resistance magical conduit. This was immediately recognized as a discovery that would allow construction of incredibly complex magical artifacts. Thus was the project split into two sub-projects, one to gauge the feasibility of harnessing the source as a way to access unlimited magical energy, and the other to harvest and utilize the coral to enhance the Enclave's magical engineering capabilities. Several pages are redacted. The coral was central in the design and production of our now ubiquitous arcs. We found that, as a living mineral, it can be grown and farmed. Thus, keeping the future in mind, pilot production facilities were built, though the majority of our coral resources still come from harvesting the original deposit around the source. Another page is redacted. Further experiments are undergoing on the source itself as we expand our infrastructure. It seems to react to energy input. It is not alive per se, but is more akin to a raging hearth. We are close to finding a way to harnessing its energy. Additional funding is available. Is always available. Okay, nothing about the gates.
Hope you're not afraid of diving into bottomless pits.
Hardly. Maybe a little. Why?
Despite the grand gates no longer functioning, there is a more direct way to reach the source. By driving
So they're
straight
saying to
down
go
into a rift in Lower Denevron.
Okay, I get it now.
Last time I wanted to charge into a restricted area, you weren't so sure it was a great idea.
So then we actually know all the
Yep, learned a
locations
thing or
of the
two
Grand
about
Gates then.
calculated risk-taking from you. And the prospect of securing the source makes this a risk
And
worth
we know they're
taking.
not working.
With this knowledge and Sev's plan to control the miasma with the aeroliths, I'll get Aurea to call a meeting with the Axel.
Let's get a meeting.
Perfect.
In memories.
All right, everyone. Let's give Khan Arteme the rundown.
Using the aerolifts, I can trigger a miasma everywhere they affect above ground.
It is advised that your people remain indoors during this process.
The miasma will flow from the source. which will lessen the raw magic enough to keep Bryn safe while she escorts the Ark.
And how is she going to get there without the Grand Gate?
She'll drop in through the rift in Lower Denevron.
Skies, of course she will.
Don't worry. I've got plenty of experience scaling down cliffs.
Once she's in the Underworks, she'll stay within the Ark's protective field and follow it to the source where it will fulfill its purpose, to pacify the Tangles.
And what about the Herald?
That's where you're going to need to trust me.
You really think you can do this?
With this Weaver band, I can do anything. Reassure her. I was born to do this. Inspire her. I have to try and remind her what's at stake. This is about my team.
When I doubt my own abilities, I just look to my band. Kaz is prepared for plans A through Z. Dam and Sola have me armed to the teeth. Aurea is going to guide me through thick and thin. Lane knows more about the Enclave than the people still living in it. Arik has brought us into your world, and Sev can control the freaking weather. How can I fail?
You've asked me to guide us. Now, it's time for you to trust me when I say, this is our path.
Kenrick lied to us for decades. It's hard to believe anyone who says they're going to take care of the Surgeborn now. But with how open you've been, and everything you've done for us already, you've earned my trust. We will stay and fight for our hearth.
Thank you.
Bryn, I'll coordinate with Sev. When you're ready, come see me.
Hell yeah. Hey. So that feels very different actually. Very different. This conversation seemed like it would have been very different if I didn't do all the side quests and stuff, which is quite cool.
This is going to be a challenging expedition. Are you ready?
There's a
Okay.
few things
Good idea.
Okay. It gives me the option. So maybe this is the no turning back section. We can go to Bastion. We'll deal with this one then quickly. Because I just want to do it, right? I just can't have that thing on my quest log. It doesn't make any sense to me for it to be there. I mean, and then I'm also the one keeping like a bunch of codex entries there. Speaking of codex entries, let's just randomly read one, shall we? Actually, this is quite interesting. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I just read it quickly. I think we already know all of this stuff. The patient diary and herbalist in Lower Denevron. Okay. What about Norian Secret Project? Okay, let's do these two. Let's do these two, okay? Because the Tamarkin's meeting. We're wearing a full Tamarkin's meeting now, okay? Let's just do some codexes already. Ironically, even studying this text was something of a Norian secret, with the writing being a special treatment on metal plates that could cause them to corrode into legible writing when properly treated, contained within a numerous initiatives, prepared with code phrases, obscure references to what seems to be dates or places, and other seemingly incoherent and unrelated bits of knowledge. When presented with them, our resident ex-Norian was swiftly able to translate them, noting that the information is less of a cipher, but more of a series of references to previous Norian projects, both magical and mundane. What stood out most to Sebastian was how each of the Norian studies and initiatives were focused on delicately subverting and changing the purpose of the Enclave's achievements. One can only assume the secrecy with which these studies were recorded makes it clear that the Enclave's wider populace was never supposed to know about the Norians' clandestine activities. Keeping even the Enclave in secret, that's what they did, in the shadow. And let's find out more about Tamarkind smithing. Because the smithing techniques is considered a lost art among the armorers of the Maida due to its intricate nature. It was a style of forging armor that used specific cuts and plates before shaping to create seamless folds. The sea resulting. Oh, wait. This. If we've done it before, then. Ah, because when we compiled it, we already got it. But what about these other ones? Oh, that means that we are already... Oh my god. Maybe I didn't realize this already, because I guess when we are compiling these, we're already discussing them. Okay, well that makes things a lot easier, does it? Well, these ones. Yeah, because we have the Chronicles of Oria Silverbeak. Big. Maybe these ones are less there. Okay, because probably we don't have Hero, Isla and Kenrick. Harakim, let's see other classes. Casmin. I think we already did Casmin. Yeah, I think we're good, no? Because we know them very well. So yeah, Enclave's first former surveyors of the arts and professions, a complex figure, but I like nonetheless. Yeah, nothing new, just cat skimming over here. Could be very Lane never spoke directly with Isla. This is before. Okay, this is before she died. Okay. So there's no updates here. Memories of home. We probably have that. Okay then. Easy, and the race stuff we don't have, I believe. Effects of trade. Auburn in the Enclave. This could be an interesting one, perhaps. The gregarious Auburn culture is influential across the Meta, in contrast to the Ram, who tends to keep themselves. The Auburn have easily integrated themselves into daily life among Casil, Ashar, and Kashar. Extensive census data recovered by our point indicate that the Enclave was no outlier in this regard, though this research was initiated to investigate our Watcher's lineage and successfully identified 3 candidates for a patriarch. Pardon my boasting. It seems a shame not to compile the findings for our archive as well. Yeah, so this came after that, I guess. Oberon participated in all aspects of life in the Enclave, notably Oberon, such as the Sharian, Charbonnet, and Matteo Agritus, were memorialized in statues as famed contributors to the Enclave's success. In addition to this, Oberon frequently held influential seats in the Enclave's government, as well as offered of important contribution to the military despite its small size. Indeed, they were in fact overrepresented in the scout corps. Their unique physiological attributes were clearly considered particularly useful for the scouts' duties. Of course, Auburn were assimilated into the civilian populace and economy as well. From what we can tell, their presence in the Enclave did not dilute their unique cultural identity, nor their age-old cultural divide around the controversial practice of clipping their wings. A contemporary etching, satirical in nature, depicts a rich Auburn so wholly consumed by indolence that his untrimmed feathers reach the ground, causing him to trip over them. Unrealistic, to be clear, that is not how feathers work. Alright. Okay, no any other great classes. Okay, these are fine. Sure. I think we are good enough then. Source, we did that. Yep. So it says the Grand Gate all the time, so I'm just, here, like here. What was here, right? When I said the Grand Gate, I'm like, that sort of confused me before because I thought it would be multiple Grand Gates, right? I don't know. I have to, and there is multiple Grand Gates apparently, but the issue was more that they were also broken. So there's only one the Grand Gate that was working as a result of them fixing it. But okay. Let's not dwell too much. I can hear some flying here. But not really. Or what? Whoa. What is that? Is this here before? like can I destroy this? Oh yeah. Did we have these ones earlier? Anyway, okay, let's go get our flying boy. Hey you. Double check how to take it down. Great foes, Arc de Nova. Based on this, our working theory for harvesting the narcotics is to stressing its energies to expose the locust. Removing all of its armor plates would be the first step to creating instability, and then it's decidedly not a simple matter of catching the beast while it maintains all 6 of its scopes, while also in flight. Yeah, that's fine. Ah, it is there. Quite his attention. Let's get through here. It's a good spot to land. Maybe we can use our little shield for a little bit. Come on. So this does enough damage basically, so we obviously want to use this one then. Fine. Take the legs as well, no? Oh. I forgot about this one. That is all, no? is no. Just the head then. Let me try the head. It always feels like there is something on the head. There's nothing on the wings. Missing something. Okay. I'm looking for anything. Okay. I need to. Yeah. Stay inside. This did not go according to plan. Unnecessary. It is there. Okay, okay. So it's just... Yeah, so we are just on the catching it in flight thing, right? So all of them need to be on... I think I saw it. Yeah, it is there. So catch it in flight with all of them on. Okay. Now it's running away. What? Now we went over there. Oh, no. No. Damn it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay.
A kinetic strand. Wonderful.
Sorry about that. It was a bit slower than I had hoped it would be. Wait. Let me go back here. Maintain more scopes simultaneously. Alright. More projectiles and more damage. Let's go!
This is going to be a challenging expedition.
Yeah, challenging expedition.
Can't automate here. I'm ready to move out.
Good. Take some time to rest. And I'm sure everyone will want a chance to speak with you before you head into the rift.
You all worry too much. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know that. Just make sure the others do, too.
All right.
Alright, alright then. Oh, the Axel is here as well. We'll talk to Casmin last. Because Romanza!
Surge. We no longer had any reason to celebrate. Our seasons were broken. So any festivals we once had to celebrate their transition suddenly lost their meaning. So we stopped. I've lived my whole life like this. Only hearing stories of joy and calm and peace and optimism. Never seeing it myself. If we succeed today, there may well be a reason to celebrate once more. And my heart burns with the desire to give that gift to the children of the Enclave, who would otherwise go without.
We'll get it done, Karnata May.
Hiroon. I very much hope so.
We can call
Don't
her
die.
Hiroon.
Hasn't happened to me yet, so that must mean the odds are in my favor.
Maybe, yeah. Horia and Casmin last. Eric is the most boring one, so, you know, I like him, but he's just like the smooth talker, you know.
Hey,
It's like a bit of relief from the rest, in a
How's
way.
it going,
no?
Eric?
sorry. I get kind of keyed up before anything big.
And now he's stressed, now he's interesting. Okay.
And this is a big one, isn't it?
Maybe the biggest. At least in recent memory.
Legendary understatement. Anyway, we're as ready as we can be on my end. The scouts still in fighting shape after Stanord's folly are deployed. They'll be reporting on Surgeborn behavior and ready to intercept if anyone moves against Darm and the Axle. We're even field testing some reweaves to the enchantments on our scries. Some progress there.
Sounds like the guide is settling into his role pretty smoothly.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone's got to. Thanks. We're going to do this, Bryn. You're going to do this.
That's the plan. Thanks for all your support.
Hail
You're
you.
what we needed. Someone to step up and damn the consequences.
Mr. Cool and Casual, yes. Ah, yes, Sola. I guess Sev is over by his thingamajig, no?
Sola, how are you feeling about the upcoming expedition?
These days I can handle just about anything. And that's in large part thanks to you.
Me?
You supported me through all this Tarmakine stuff without faltering. Even when it felt like my world could crumble in the face of it. And then, you didn't just bring Darm and I back together. You and Casmin showed us we never really lost one another. I just feel so much more resilient thanks to you.
Come on. That was all you.
Don't worry. I'm not selling myself short, but you gave me space to grow as a person. Not a lot of friends are brave enough to do that.
Anytime, Sola.
I'm ready to do whatever it takes to help you succeed at the Source Spring.
Glad to hear it.
The Dam after Sola.
Not just quick of blade, but big of heart. It's always a pleasure to see you.
It's always a
It's a
joy
deal.
to see you two, Dom.
Not everyone can catalyze a discussion between a couple that clearly needed to happen. You'll always have my thanks for that.
How are you feeling about the expedition?
Now as ready as we can be, and with our intrepid point as the vanguard, what could go wrong?
Rather a lot, honestly.
Yes, but it shan't. You will overcome. You need to keep that in your heart. Hope is like magic. Its real strength comes from inside. Will, fortitude, and belief can overcome the impossible. If you believe that you have what it takes to win the day,
I love that.
you shall. I know this, and you do too.
Hope is like magic. Lane. The opposite of lame.
I find myself once more mining the past for clues. An impulse not born of regret this time. We've achieved much together, it's true. But beyond this, what more can we do?
We've done everything we can, right? So perhaps we just need to have faith.
As alien as it is to me, yes. At some point, we need to lean on belief. Founded in trust, founded in fact. Doing it again?
I don't think I've seen you like this before.
It's not my most particularly favorite way to be.
Why don't we run through some of the preparations you've made to take your mind off it?
Right, yes. I've prepared all the potions and filters you might need. Mixed them up in bulk, thanks to the equipment I've gathered. From the raw ingredients to the essential alkahests to the final product, I am sure that what I've made is of the highest possible quality. You're right. It did help.
You're welcome. Okay. Down here. Seb would be here.
I've run every test I could think of.
You're worried. You have every right to be, but I'm sure you've done your best.
I'm so supportive,
think so.
you know?
The theory's sound and the system's working well. Better than expected,
See?
in fact. When I told you
So
about
read
the
that the
Grand Gate and
dialogue.
Stanil's plan,
Say it
I
after.
wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. You and the band have helped a lot with that. A lot. I even feel like I understand how the tapestry works. We can fix this place, but I'm going to need your help. Understand?
Understand.
I look forward to it.
So I heard that the way Bryn acts is based on the questions or like the prompts that we give her. So when there is a selection of three, like, and that's how her general dialogue changes, which is really cool. Because now we have a Bryn that is like super supportive, and instead she could have been like very like, I am the best, you know, like I'm the best. I'm sure like overall the thing wouldn't like the story doesn't change, but like I feel like especially with this it's like okay, you have, okay, let's say you have three options, like, because you usually have three options, no, and one is probably more like, oh yeah, no, you can do it because
I'm sure you don't have any lingering
I believe in you
concerns
and all of
about
that
the
stuff.
past of the Norians.
And then the second one is more like, you,
Better than good.
I'm the one getting this shit done, not, doesn't matter if you are doing it, like no matter if you're failing or not, I got it, right? That's the second one. And then the third one is probably a lot more like harsh, but probably not, it's really not like, oh yeah, you know, screw you. It's more like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know, like, we need you to get it done, no chance for failure, like super harsh, you know, like this kind of thing, and leaving no, it's just like the different ways of building strength, but I like the supportive way for sure.
I'm sure you have thoughts on the upcoming expedition.
It's funny.
Different
You'd
kinds of
think
love,
I'd be remembering
maybe,
my
you know?
mother, the
Tough love.
Weaver. But my father is on my mind right now.
More supportive love.
What it must have been like, cultivating his fields year after year.
Taking a moment to enjoy what you've cultivated.
I'm at peace. My new role is to help you build upon what I've learned.
That's quite the legacy.
One last piece of advice before you go?
Always.
Always take a
When the
wise.
time comes for you to find your own apprentice, choose one that can help you with this transition like you've helped me.
If I survive this, you mean?
We both know you will.
One Bryn could be less confident in anything and be like, I don't know if I can do it, you know, like, and be like more very reliant on the team. I'll pet the boy, you know, very important, most important part of the game. Double checking that I've done these. The eye is not here though, which is quite interesting. He did not come around for this. Maybe he will show up later. Just gonna see if there's any prompts anywhere for it. No. do not see the eye. Okay, can talk to Jasmine then. I don't think anything specific, anything like crazy will happen, but you know, I just want to make sure to go with her.
Is that your way
last.
of buttering me up before you dive into a deadly rift?
Can't I just compliment the most beautiful girl in the Maida?
You can, so long as we both know I hate everything about this expedition, and nothing will change my mind about that.
Duly noted.
Good. Then, so long as you don't take this as my endorsement, I know you can do this. No matter what that crummy herald says when you get down there. You're going to kick its proverbial butt out of the source and save the Enclave as we know it.
Kaz, it helps to hear that.
There's more I want to say, but I'll come find you later.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, what does that mean? Straight to bed, dead Jasmine. Come. Okay.
Hey you.
So many cutscenes in this episode.
What are you doing?
Got to make sure you're prepared for this expedition.
Kaz.
Sorry, this is hard for me.
I know.
You mean so much to me, and I just can't stand the thought of...
Nothing will happen to me.
I should be the one comforting you right now, not the other way around.
I love you.
Should be stronger than this. What?
I love you.
That is a ridiculous thing to say right now.
I don't care.
You're crazy.
So, are you going to say it back, or should I just head to bed? I've got an early morning, you know.
Shut up. I love you too.
We just beat the game. Listen, nothing else matters. Okay? So many cutscenes. This has to be the final episode, right? Quick look at this, right? Because I guess it just popped up. What was the name? Joe. Wait. Hold on. Oh no, I don't know where to find it. In Weavers? Memories of Home. Dorothy is with us as well.
Sev is set to vent the tangles from the source when you're ready, Bryn.
Descending into the source. Alright. Consider a manual save.
Give me a bit more time.
It's your...
Consider a manual save. One in Act 4 then. Act 7? Oh my god.
Sev is set to vent the tangles from the source when you're ready, Bryn.
No time like the present.
We have every reason to believe this will make the source tolerable for you. I'll tell Sev to get started. Dom and Khan Arteme will escort you to the rift with the Ark.
We're all going somewhere. Oh, animated cutscene as well. Oh my god, so many rewards.
Looks like Sev was right. The rift has been vented. It's as safe as it's going to be.
You sure that rope can hold us both?
It'll do the job. Just try to land gracefully.
I always do. Got it.
My magic will only carry the arc for as far as I can see you.
Good luck, Bryn of Carnarvon.
Thank you, Dom. Hey, buddy.
At least I don't have to carry it.
You've kept me waiting.
The heart of the matter.
Ignore it.
I plan to.
You'll find I demand attention. Admit it. You're a little curious about me. After all, you have paid me a visit to my son.
I'm not listening to you.
But imagine what I could offer you if you did.
How'd that work out for Kenrick Staneld?
Breathe through it, Bryn. I know its voice is making your skin crawl. I feel it too.
It helps when you guys are talking, instead of it.
Then we'll keep talking. We're
And
here.
we are team got each other.
No matter what that voice says, you stopped the Herald before. You can do it again.
Bryn, I know I said I was scared to lose you, but today I woke up calm. This is what you were born to do. Go get him.
Yeah, Casmin.
You're getting close. One last chance. Join me, and I'll grant you strength beyond your wildest dreams.
I've already told you, I don't need it.
If you're strong enough without me, why are there 7 crutches chattering in your ear?
They're not crutches. They're friends.
We could be friends.
And act like a friend, damn it. You had your chance. Couldn't be good. Couldn't make the surge bone our body. But no. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's so funny?
Couldn't destroy me with an arc of my size. And so he brought a toy instead.
I think the toy was doing good work, apparently. No? Seems to be better. Well, this is a lot of chunky things.
Whatever. I'll destroy it after you perish.
Whatever, dude. Heals, right? Perfect. Whoa. Okay. They say I didn't see that coming very well. Here we go. Not the hand. No, but the wrist for sure. No. Oh, that's okay. Nope. That is a bit better than that for sure. So where are the potions that I need? See that one for some reason. Using things more. going a bit, yeah. I know I am going a bit too hard on trying to do a specific one. Did I say that out loud already? I don't know, because I'm just so focused on trying to do some damage to this guy. Nope, no, again. Not again. Perfect, perfect. There we go. Ow. Wait. Okay. There. Nope. Hell yeah, it has a locus. Thank fuck. Jesus. I couldn't even say anything, I was just so focused. Oh my god. Most fears and foes, so that has to be the final boss, I guess. Or maybe there's something else.
Arrogance is so typical of your species. The breach is too wide for your arc.
Breach? What breach?
The breach between our world and yours, of course.
Oh my god.
You're from another world?
You call us Surgeborn, but we are ancient. As old as the tear between worlds that bleeds what you call magic. A wound your kind tore wider in their own quest for power. Until they could no longer contain it. And the inevitable happened.
The Surge.
The Surge. An event so cataclysmic in both worlds it shook them to their core. And it left a path. One I had to follow. Your kind have mastered the coral, indestructible and suffused with incredible power. How you barely understand and haven't earned. Power that should and will be mine. You can't hope to compete with me. I carry with me 1,000 souls and 1,000 bodies. You are an insect. Consider it an inherent failure of your species.
It's like, shut up.
Could you shut up?
Does the truth
Yes.
strike a nerve?
No, you're annoying. I'm trying to think.
Bryn, Arik managed to get the scry back, for now.
We've lost visuals.
The Herald is down, but regenerating. And the Arc of Verdance. It's working, but the raw magic is too much. The Arc can't pacify the tangles.
You need to get out of there. Now!
No! I have to do something.
Bryn, we will find another way.
Don't bother. You will die.
Nah,
Just like
I ain't dying.
daughter.
Strong. I got all the mantos.
Whatever it takes.
Ooh.
Her name was Isla.
God damn. What's up, dude? Cat Extreme Strand. Okay, just you. One thing. Oh, I can't change weapon. I just wanted to shoot you in the face, okay? Just one last time. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's go. What? Let's go, Verdance boy. So basically, I'm gonna control it like Isla now. You know who should come? The Eye. Redemption, you know? Okay.
Bryn. Can you hear me? Bryn. Talk to me.
Oh no.
Come on.
We're not dead, don't worry. Here we go. Hell yeah! I did nothing. Still. Just. For long after our exploit have seized his heart, every weaver must pledge their mantle to safekeeping from adversaries. The danger, whatever the source, lest we lose our home forever. Maximilian Marden. Sorry, I was just reading that way too fast because I was just trying to get it in. But damn. Bam, 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 bam. Well done. developers. This game is so fun. Oh my god. Poof. Don't know. This game, it's so much fun. I don't know how to begin describing it. Like the gameplay is it's blank. Even though like I'm using the same weapon like 90% of the game, I'm just playing it my way, you know, and I feel like there are other ways to play with the shield and the bow, and if any of the skills associated with those weapons are as fun as the kinetic two-hander, then it's just like then you can't really ask for more, you know, at this point, because the physics are cool, you know. I'm sure it can be like improved on these things, but like sometimes it's also fun when you just like go in the opposite direction that you want to go, because it doesn't really make sense for you to do so as well. Like if I'm like already flying backwards, I'm trying to shoot myself upwards with the sword, of course I'm gonna fly backwards because I'm only shooting myself upwards. I'm not shooting myself forwards, right? You know? That should just work, okay? It says, yeah, we have a lot of people to thank. Okay. So, a little funny thing there as well. This is like different teams and individuals. Okay, very cool. Brick babies. No way. They included their kids in here. This has to be like people that had like kids during development or something, right? Oh. Like, yeah, basically they would be babies, or else they would be kids, right? Or maybe they are in the people we have to thank then. It's very funny. I don't know. I'm so happy as well that we were able to romance Casmin, because it seemed like we were also going to get other options. Lane for sure. Lane and Arik, I guess, would be the main two. But yeah, just Casmin all day, every day. Probably Lane second, and Arik is just a bit boring. But I feel like he needed to be like that cool and casual character, because he was really missing that, right? But so when you were talking to him, it's like, oh yeah, you're not trying to be like, nothing is like too in depth. It's like a break character. I don't know, but he's good. Like, he does very important things in the story, and it's like in a different video game he would be the main character, you know. It's especially among older video games, like you're like a male character, and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna breach the status quo of my superiors or whatever, you know. Like he would be doing that. So, but he's the main character to his team, you know, in a way, no. And the whole thing just about like Sola and Dom, and they're having their dispute and everything, you know, like highlights like, oh, importance of communication, but also like they started communicating better every time, you know. I don't know, like they had a big dispute, but then suddenly they were talking a lot more about things they hadn't talked about before, because they realized that things were not necessarily clear in the relationship as well. So that's just like very random of the side things, and this, not even talking about like the main story, right? But oh my god, I feel like I've been so silent the entire episode because I've just been so focused on just the things happening. But it's just now we started like going over the game, and this guy, this has to be an Eternal Strands too, right? No, they have to make something. It doesn't have to be the same type of game, they have to make something in this world, because they did so much lore building. You know, like they've already built the lore for all the different cities outside the Enclave. You know, like they have the foundation for all of it. Not just like, oh yeah, Bryn is from Calhaven, you know, like, oh, this and this, it's like this happened in Calhaven, this is why they are like this, and then there's a girl that was sick in Calhaven, and it's like, oh, could be a reference to someone, you know, that they actually know too, you know, but yeah. You have like this stoic leader and strong leader that they had with Oria, you know, throughout their entire through the entire game. They've been with her before, but then she's like, you know, there's something missing in my life, and there's a different reason. Oh, Dorothy. What? The rock there. Whoa. Okay. Just mentioned. I just mentioned her. Okay. Oh my god, maybe I missed the context or something. Maybe there was some text there. If you see it, you see it, you know? Maybe you can go back or something, but damn. Yeah, other than that. Or yeah. She just has this thing has like an existential crisis a little bit about who she is as a person, but not as a person, but like what her like identity is, which is also her person. Something like that, right? I think you know what I mean, because you think you know what you're coming from, but then your heritage is not what you expected. But in a way, she realized that one, it doesn't matter. Two, her mother was always telling the truth about the father, but she left out some certain things, I guess. But you know, like, but the father was a hero, and Arek was like, oh yeah, he's very super important to everyone, you know, like he did all of this, and just because he doesn't have a bloody statue doesn't mean like he's remembered by so many people as a hero, you know. And that also showcases that, you know, it's not about glory in terms of like, oh yeah, you need to have a statue to be great, you need to be in the documents, because you know the way you impact people's lives it's not about being remembered in a bloody document. It's what you're doing to people directly or indirectly by being good to someone they know, or you know, like all of these very random things. Like, just because people don't put you down in a paper doesn't mean that you haven't done anything, you know. And as I said, like, yeah, that's as we're saying, because they're not always in control of who is in charge of these documents, right? Because obviously there's like the eye and the whole order there, you know, like, the history is very customized to the way that they want it, and there's so many secrets. Even with like the Norian order, you know, like you gave someone in with Zev as well, the Sevastain, that, you know, like showing that it's not about just secrets are no good if they are not used for the people necessarily, or you know. And then what if the secrets are hurting people by being kept secret, and you gave someone that was the game gave someone that was like technically excluded or secluded, I don't know what the proper word here is, but they were like separate they felt probably very isolated in their life because they were a part of this order and they couldn't tell anyone about it. And then they made him part of a team, and then showed him like the value of teamwork, where there is no politics and these things involved, which is just very, very cool. I really hope like in the next game, like we have Dom and Sola just like on the road for a bit, and then like, oh yeah, we're heading back after an expedition or something like that, if we are not with them like all the time, right? Or if we are using the Enclave as a base, and then we're going out from the Enclave, and they will just be in the Enclave, and then they will be like, oh yeah, at one point we're gonna go out and be like, now it's time to be on the road for a few months, so we're bringing a freaking liquid magma, you know. And then Lane seems like a very complex character in that their past is like such a mess with the politics, and like they are also the ones that have such a close relationship with secrets outside of Sev. So it's like, oh yeah, it's about, they know how it works, and like they don't like it, you know, and being part of a team is so much more important. They try to confront fucking the Eye, and then the Eye is like, oh yeah, I know things about you because I'm part of the fucking Norian Order. Not saying that they're part of the Norian Order immediately, but you know, it's like, haha, I know everything that happens, because and then sort of have to deal with, so that's like just like a political confrontation that Lane thinks that they are ready for, and you know, it's just like you don't expect it. And all the whole like excitement about history, and like it feels like someone that made the lore of this game is basically a Lane, you know, like, and that's just so cool, you know. And it's also sort of fun that they don't really get context clues all the time, but also that they are also the ones keeping an eye on everything that happens in the camp, you know, like this person loves reality TV probably, you know. And then of course Casmin, thank you for playing Eternal Strands, our studio's first game. It's a labor of love, and your support means the world to us, Yellowbird Games. I love this game. Okay, that's all. Casmin, best one. Love any character that talks about mental health. It's just and I don't know, like this whole discussion about anxiety, and how it's just like manifests itself for her, and then there's also this like, it's like this hint of like schizophrenia as well, but it's not really schizophrenia, it's because it's like its own thing, but it's like combining a few different aspects of mental health conditions, and it's like you're dealing with the cure is that there is no cure, but you can try to like manage it so you have, it ruins your life less, you know, because you can't really get rid of it, you know, it's just always there waiting to take you down. And then but if you have the support group that is around you, it's just like it becomes so much easier, doesn't it? And then but yeah, got that romance in there. Can I interact with Dorothy again? I did hear a kid's voice now or something. Let's see. I'll talk to everyone to wrap everything up now.
It is good to see you up and about again.
Thanks, Ev. Nothing keeps me down for long.
No. Even when by all rights you should have died. Seems like all circumstances aside, you saved the day.
Of course I did.
Aw, you remembered. So, what's next for you, big guy?
The only thing left for me and Tarza are assassins. So, it looks like I'm staying.
Hell yeah.
Not that the Veil gives us much choice, but you take my meaning.
The Axel will love to have someone with your expertise around.
Yes. I am a better collaborator than Stanil, she tells me. And she's willing to provide whatever I need. Just so long as it stabilizes things. And I mean that politically as well as magically.
She's like my mother. Always thinking about her role more than herself. Still, powerful patron to have on your side.
And unlike my last patron, at least she seems honest about our relationship. We will
So the Veil is still there.
From my work.
Based on this conversation, no? It looks pretty open, no? Maybe it didn't completely destroy the Veil or something. I feel like it did. I don't know.
I don't know many weavers who could do what you just did and survive. Scratch that. I don't know any.
I feel a bit lightheaded from all the tonics. But otherwise, I'm back up on both feet.
We thought you had.
Tonic overuse,
Darm and
tonic
Lancel
addiction.
practically tossed
It's gonna
me
be
through
Bryn's
the
problem in the
loop
next
after
game.
I made my way back up the rope.
Like,
They looked pretty shocked.
vitality!
I suppose
Frames out!
even with the
Frost,
tangles
frost.
disappearing, the odds of me making it out of the chasm were slim.
Let alone surviving what the spindle didn't. You know, channeling your magic into that arc was risky.
She did it for the Enclave. So did I. And you would have done the same.
I can't argue with that. On to the next adventure, then.
On to the next.
On to the next. Again, we'll talk to Cusman last. But I do wonder... Oh, is that some codex compiling to wrap up everything as well? I wonder... Yeah, we can just go around doing things. Can be... Cassidy's Hall, I guess the eye isn't there. No? I guess we'll have to talk to him last after leaving because, you know, that's how we do.
There she is.
I live!
I'll admit, you had us all worried for a beat there. It is good to see you back on your feet.
He said things were going well, ask if there are any updates.
How have you and the other scouts been doing recently?
Exceptionally well. The Surgeborn are still out there, but they're disoriented, scattered, something like that.
That will be easier to deal with for everyone involved.
Yeah, still dangerous, but it's like they're roaming aimlessly and only acting on instinct.
Curious how things fare at the Hold in the wake of our victory.
How are the people at Cassidy's Hold faring?
Everyone can feel it. Things are different. It's like a pressure we'd all got so used to is lifted.
Perhaps literally.
The raw magic, you mean? Hadn't thought of that, but you're probably right.
Hadn't thought of that. How's he holding up after all this?
Tell me about you, Eric. This has been a lot.
Well, on the one hand, still getting used to the title, but it is coming in handy for throwing my political weight around. Hirun and I don't always see eye to eye, but she's sharp and we work it out. We're hoping to lift the restrictions on the scouts mingling with the larger Hold populace for one. Lots of happy families.
Oh yeah.
And on the other hand?
I feel like I've won some kind of prize being allowed to spend time with your band. You're all such veterans as weavers. It's an honor to feel like I've been accepted.
That's enough questions for now. Move on to what's next.
That all sounds positive. Any thoughts on where we go from here?
Well, there's one very important thing. You are not allowed to die or make me think you died
Whoa.
anymore.
Oh, spirits. Yes, of course. I can work very hard on the staying alive front. Just for you.
All of us? Really? You didn't see the band's faces when the scry cut out. These people adore you. Anyway, beyond that, it's hard to say. I suppose we start to reclaim things. The veil's not down, just stable. We work with that and see what other wild curves this place throws at us. And with you and your band here, I'm pretty sure we can handle anything.
Ah yes, the next game is the veil opening up. There we go. Solutions.
Now that Casman's trading with the Halfsiders, Khan Arteme has reached out to ask if I would forge arms for the Scouts. They've been wearing leftover arc armor all
God.
this time. Though I'll have support from the Enclave Smithing Guild, it'll be a long project.
Sev won't be teaming up with you on this one.
The Axel has Sev working on the tapestry right now. Besides, I'm just happy to see he's found his calling.
I didn't think it was possible, but he stands a little taller these days.
Me working with the guild, Sev controlling the weather,
Controlling the fucking weather.
you kicking major arse at the heart of the Enclave? Who would
Major
have thought
arse.
we'd wind up here when we first passed through the Veil?
Not me. Part of me thought the Ark of the Stricken Earth was going to do me in.
You had to know you had a chance at winning. We've all come a long way.
Do you ever miss the days when the stakes of the band's adventures were a little lower?
Strangely, Not at all. It's been quite the rush. Though, give us a few more scares like you did when the scry cut out, and I might change my mind.
Don't worry. I can go without defying death again for at least a little while.
Yeah, easy. What is death?
Oh, drat. Wait, no, thoughtless Dom. I am delighted to see you up and about, Bryn.
Are you sure?
I am delighted to see you, and as it turns out, Lane has just emptied my purse.
Never bet against the alchemist about recovery times.
Indeed. A lesson I have zero regrets about learning, for it means you are up sooner than I would have thought possible.
I'm dying to know what happened at the source. As
We
for the
clearly
elves,
did something at the source. But was it enough?
To stabilize things? Oh, yes. What's become abundantly clear is that the source had been damaged, though not sure how. Perhaps a small surge that cascaded into the real surge? That's all in the past, though. The current flow of magic seems to be balanced such that the veil is consuming most of it.
That sounds good, right?
Oh, most definitely. It leaves us at an equilibrium. That is so much better than the alternatives.
the veil looks different. See if Dan can explain what happened.
What's going on with the veil?
It's not coming down anytime soon, but it no longer seems to be overcharged. In retrospect, it's possible the veil was the only thing that stopped the source from outright exploding.
How so?
Its activation pulled, and continues to pull, mind you, an enormous amount of magic away from the source. That draw was enough to slow the rush of magic. It's possible the reason the veil went up so suddenly was as an emergency measure.
I wonder if the Ark is still working without me.
How's our little arc friend holding up?
So far, very well. It continues to pacify the raw magic coming from the source, and is self-sustaining as far as we can tell, thanks to your little push. Please don't do that again, by the way. Very dangerous, and we're all terribly fond of you.
What happened with the tapestry? She damn news.
How about the tapestry? No chance we've managed to remove all the tangles?
Alas, no. Not visibly, but I did hear the Axel talking about an effort to restore the tapestry. She dropped your name a few times. They'll make a statue of you someday. Well, unless her political machinations all fall apart. Fewer statues in that case, but that's for the politicians, yes?
That's enough question for now.
So, what's next for us, do you think?
I have every plan to continue studying the source while I can. The Axel's given me special dispensation. She feels my presence somewhat tempers the ambitions of the High Enchanter. He seems rather keen on becoming the next Spindle, less so on securing a sustainable future for the Enclave. At the same time, I'm told the alchemists are making a hard push for their representative to take the position. Their political jockeying buys me time to poke and prod the Enclave secrets. I have no complaints.
Cool.
Sola's been teasing me about it incessantly, of course, reminding me to take a breath of all things. Which reminds me, I do have some things to attend to, so I won't bend your ear unnecessarily. Here if you need me for anything. Bryn of Calmhaven.
Thank you, Dom. Quest. I guess we can do Casmin then, and then let's pop over to Catherine's hold as well before doing
You're
anything.
walking and the colour has returned to your cheeks. There's a few things I need to say. First, I love you.
I love you too.
Second, if you ever scare me like that again, I'll end you faster than any herald ever could.
So romantic.
Hell yeah.
Third, I love you.
Love is list format, but you already said that.
I really like saying it.
Good. We've got a lifetime of saying it ahead of us.
With everything at the source behind us, I can see it.
Yeah? Give me another list then. What does our lifetime together look like?
For starters, it looks like reading next to one another by the fire each night.
That sounds perfect.
Second, if we ever get out of the veil, I'll take you sailing.
Yeah.
Nothing but open ocean around us sounds pretty good right now.
Oh, I could do with some
And
sea.
lastly, maybe kids. If we decide we want them.
Whatever our family looks like, it will be perfect for us.
For now, I'm content to keep having adventures with you. Just wait a while before diving into your next death rift, please.
For you, anything.
The Axel and I have opened up trade between our band and the Hearthsiders to support Sev's work with the Airless. She seems lighter since you got back from the source.
I'll have to check in with her and see for myself.
The relief efforts showed me it's difficult to pinpoint when a community is coming out of crisis. But there is one common marker. People start putting things on their calendar again. Could be as small as an appointment with your local apothecary, or as big as sending invitations to your wedding. You can't plan for the future when tomorrow's not a guarantee.
You think the Hearthsiders are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Not even close. But they're starting to live again regardless.
Okay. Good stuff. So we can pop over then. Bing. Where is the eye as well? The eye is there. Let's go up here first. See if the search bone is there. Oh, you are there. Hello.
You're being unusually quiet.
You're going feral now.
You can't talk. We didn't just cut off your ability to access the scry. The Ark of Verdance must have done something to you at the source. Huh. I wonder what this means.
Hell yeah.
Goodness, you're irrepressible. You've just been to the brink of death and back, but you're already back up and at it. You're allowed to take a break, you know.
I get bored easily. Much rather be out here getting things done.
Well, I'll say this. Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed. With the Ark of Verdance doing its work at the source, the raw magic is beginning to dissipate. In time, we'll be able to secure a workspace. Then, we can start repairing the tapestry. Everyone in the hold has begun to look to the future. Many never had a reason to, children and adults alike, sensing the intoxicating allure of newborn hope.
I know what it's like to watch your people rebuild after dark times. It's hard, but beautiful too.
I've been asked by a citizen committee to establish our first new holiday in
Holiday?
decades. Spindle's Day, they want to call it.
Ah. How do you feel about it?
I wish things were different. And I know she would have hated all the attention, but I think it's right.
She'd be really proud of you for stepping up.
I would hope so too. It is the least I can do to honor her memory, day by day. When we met, before your expedition to the source, I was ready to tell you that it was completely reckless. But when you ran through how everyone contributes to your success, that was the moment I knew we might have a chance. I wasn't quite as confident as you, but I at least felt something close to it.
And how about now?
I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything else would be ignoring the incredible achievements of some truly unexpected guests.
I'll let them know you said that.
Please do. As always, I have a great deal on my plate to get back to. Promise me you'll take a break. If only to spend time with the people you care about.
I will.
You just couldn't take a break, could you?
What?
But no. Instead, you had to unearth a revelation so dangerous it could destabilize the entire Maida Basin.
Not my fault. Incredible discoveries just fall into my lap.
Right. I admire the work your band did on researching the Herald. Lane, in particular. Hold on tight to them. They're an extremely valuable resource.
Their contributions are tremendous. The alchemy alone, with that, plus the number of times their research has saved our hides, I don't think they could leave the Weaver Band even if they tried. We wouldn't let them.
You would be fools to do so. I wanted to mention, by the way, if you could pass this along, Lane's welcome to visit the Hold anytime. Open invite. I'll always appreciate hearing their thoughts.
I'll pass it along.
Now, I'd better get back to it. Paperwork won't do itself.
And more things.
Quite the impressive investigation you and your Ram friend instigated. With those results, we could repair the tapestry and eventually reclaim the Underworks. With the Surgeborn in obvious disarray, now is the time to move. This finding, alongside Arakim's discoveries about the miasma, is concerning, but I see it as an opportunity. The tapestry needs to be repaired, and we have the means. Nothing catalyzes and unifies people like a problem they can actually solve.
Making you seem like a very effective leader.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Well, more things? I feel like maybe I missed some conversations with her earlier.
I'm
or something.
encouraged by the research Sev's done on the
But
tapestry.
this is new.
He has a quick mind.
The opportunity to prove himself outside of the Norians means a lot to him.
We're going to find out what he can do, with a team backing him up. It's key we repair the tapestry as quickly as possible. I shudder to think what might happen if the Ark of Verdance should fail.
Here we go, okay. The eye.
It seems I owe you and Sebastian a word of thanks.
Unexpected, but you're welcome. What's happening?
Hirun has seen fit to approve my involvement in the tapestry repair. As much as it is irksome to be assigned work, I will confess I was getting rather bored and lost in my own thoughts. Something to do will help, I'm sure.
The eye's got nothing else to say. Okay, let's go to Lane then. See what the hell that quest marker was about. I finished the game, people. You know? Doing this to me? I heralded a new era of weavers. For weavers. By weavers. Shift in perspective, there we go, yes.
You were tremendous at the source. I'll admit, I was rather worried about you, but... well, you made it through. And, dare I say, defined a generation of weavers in the process. You've made history and lived to tell the tale. Tremendous work.
All in a day's work.
So few words for such a momentous achievement.
I need to keep that ego under control, after all.
I don't think anyone could blame you for having an inflated ego after taking down the greatest foe imaginable all by yourself.
And yet, I must restrain myself.
I am humble.
So, what's next on our to-do list?
Getting back into the thick of it already. Let me check my notes. I have a line of research I'd like to pursue. Come find me when you're ready.
Sounds interesting. I'm all over it.
I look forward to discussing it with you. It's been a remarkably difficult chapter for all of us. While there's still more to do, I think we can take a moment to congratulate ourselves on making it this far. Only then can we look forward. And after all, who knows what the future holds?
And after we congratulate ourselves, what then?
We get back to...
Well said.
Wait, back up. Blah, blah, blah.
Would you have preferred the five-headed poison-spitting lizards in the end? What? Back when we were working to undo Asylum. You said you'd be fine if the underground was filled with five-headed lizards, don't you remember?
You're an odd one, Lane. You know that. We wouldn't change a thing about you, though. But as far as five-headed lizards spitting poison, it's hard to say.
A lot has happened. But suppose the five-headed lizards didn't speak?
Then I would take them over the Talon's snark any day.
We have our answer.
Codex compiling Surgeborn Herald. Okay, here we go. We know very little about the so-called Surgeborn Herald beyond what it has told us about itself, but Oria has a theory. Our point's fights with the smaller Surgeborn, like the Talons, have made it abundantly clear that the husk formed around their bodies protects them from the impacts of heat and cold. A kind of insulation, if you will. Thus, Oria theorizes that the thick husk could similarly be insulating the heralds in their body, keeping it safe from harvesting. In a situation where all the pieces of husk are removed and set at the same time, it may mimic its smaller cousins and become vulnerable to a harvest, as we did. The challenge is that the locus seems to be central to the beast's head on what could loosely be considered its face, which means that at any point, channeling magic there, Bryn or otherwise, will have to restrain the herald's arm lest it be torn free. Don't know what I did for the arm, but okay. With this in mind, its sudden and inexplicable lack of sapience can only be considered a wondrous gift. If I do not wish to cast a shadow on our achievement of first defeating the Herald at the source, but the fact is that it was a last-ditch effort in the face of a sudden annihilation. If it were possessed, or of its full faculties, including its ability to learn from both our actions and its own mistakes, I doubt that we would be successful a second time. And again, this is not to suggest a lack of faith in Bryn or the Weaver Band. It is simply an acknowledgement of the incredible power of our greatest foe, and an acknowledgement of our own limitations, of course. Limitations, what is that? Okay, so what do you have to say about
A pleasant morning to you. What's on your mind?
I've got something that I'm struggling to believe.
Then it must be something rather special.
It's about something the Herald said when I fought it in the source. It said that it was from elsewhere. A place we wouldn't be able to understand. And the Herald claimed to be older than the Surge. Much older.
That is a fascinating assertion. And we've received reports of it reappearing after you defeated it.
Right. I heard that too. I would have mentioned this earlier, but with all the action and me almost dying...
Say no more. I do, however, think that Oria and Darm need to hear about this too. Oria? Darm? Would you mind coming over here?
You're looking uncharacteristically serious, Lane.
I'm looking normal, I think. But you are correct.
Bryn?
The Herald claimed to have existed for a long time before the Surge, and it said that at the heart of the source there's a breach between worlds. That's where the Surgeborn came from.
I don't know how we'll tell everyone about this. Will they panic? Will they even believe us? Should we tell them at all?
Hold on, Lane. You're jumping to conclusions. It's possible that the Surgeborn was lying.
It's true. Even though it never technically lied to Bryn, it certainly enjoyed its little mind games.
I really don't think that's the case. It wanted Bryn to join it, and this would explain so much about the origin of the Surgeborn.
I believe the solution to our worries is, as always, more research. Bryn, since we've received reports of the Herald reappearing, would you mind hunting it down for us again? Specifically, to know for sure whether it is as otherworldly as it claimed to be, I will need you to harvest its pattern, as fresh as possible for me.
I did do one of those.
Absolutely. I've already killed this thing twice. A third time will be a piece of cake.
Splendid. Understanding the unknown kills any fear it may hold over us. Is this course of action acceptable to you two?
Yes. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Lane? Would that make you feel better?
I suppose that's a sensible way forward. Sorry, big revelation. I need to take some time to process this. Dom, will we analyze the resonance together? I need to prepare my workstation.
One step at a time, my friend.
Of course. The resonance, yes. Good luck, Bryn.
Don't need luck when I've got a team like you behind me.
Hold this on me? No? I guess we will just extend the episode. I was going to... I thought this was really the final moment. We can't have this happening, can we? Where is it though? What if I just take a nap or something? I think might have to get to the next day to change or what, but yeah. Here we go. In Treasure's Mire of all places, everywhere. Bastion. Okay. So unlike the Bastion, probably will go here then. Sapper's Lake probably will be on top now or something, or on the south side somewhere. Well. Hasn't been upgraded, has it? Okay. So I did harvest it already. Anyway, okay, well. Got you.
There's the Herald. I know everything that's matter. You just need to do it again.
And then again. And I forgot that I can bring out to this one. So, should help a little bit. Ouch. That's one way to do it. Oh, and then back. Okay. That's the safest. Okay. Ow. Okay. I mean, I know there's plenty of bags around here. Come on. Where did you go? Huh? Okay then. Guess I'll just top up a bit more. I thought there would be some vitality tonic bags there, but no. Maybe not then. Here we go. No. Damn it. Okay. So then the next one now. Oy. Oh. Damn it. Okay. What? Shit. Oh my god, I was just able to do it, I see. Okay. Focus, 1, 2, 3. That's high enough. Come on. No. Okay. So what happened in the previous one then? Did I like ice it or something? I mean, that technically worked. Cool. Ah, a lot of stuff. A lot more stuff than I usually get from the other ones. Probably I can go as fast as you go this way now. Oh no, actually it's not. Wee. Forward. Let's see what we can learn.
Good news. I harvested the Herald's pattern.
Splendid. If you'll let me handle the resonance. Dom, come and look at this. Bryn's brought back the Surgeborn resonance and...
Fascinating. It really is like nothing I've laid hands on.
The Herald was telling the truth, then. About this, at least.
Walk me through it, team.
Dom, do you want to?
Yes. This is the second resonance I've had access to, and I didn't realize before, but... it's clearly not of this world. It resembles nothing mentioned in any literature I've ever seen. The Hearthsiders' libraries have nothing about this, not even the Spindle's tomes. Exploring the possibility of other worlds could consume decades of a researcher's life, and they'd barely scratch the surface. It was a theoretical, primary theological pursuit before, but this strand changes everything.
So you're suggesting this is an entirely novel field of research?
That is precisely the fact of the matter, my curly-haired friend.
I don't know if you hear the dogs barking. But yeah, hopefully that's over. Hopefully not. I don't know, I have to mute that. Seems it's far away outside, but it's, should be alright. I'm not a researcher. Ask how this revelation will help me out in the wild. The discussion is getting too lofty. Bring them back to ground level. The resonance could be dangerous. Wonder if it's safe to keep it in camp. I want to know more about the research actually, but okay. I guess Bryn, yes. How does it help? Too lofty, or just bring it back to ground level, I guess. So if we can, that's the closest thing we get to continue to talk about it. No?
All right, you two. Put it in words that the lady with the big sword can understand. In particular, I need to know what this means for next time I try to take this thing down.
For you, very little for now. The resonance is self-healing, but beyond that, it seems that some other element dictates the Herald's regeneration. I would not be surprised if you saw it again, but without its connection to home, it will not be able to evolve or adapt.
So the resonance heals itself, but it won't turn into a Surgeborn on its own. Good.
There's something else to worry about. One large thing. What amount of this information are we comfortable sharing? And with whom?
I wish I could draw from weaving history to provide guidance, but something this big has never happened before.
The Axel has always appreciated our transparency. We should tell her first.
I would assume she's busy with her duties as interim leader, but on the other hand, I've no clue. Truly, my font of wisdom runs empty.
I think this one's big enough that we can bother her about it without feeling guilty.
You're right, of course. I'll meet you in Cassidon's hold. I just need to document this while it's fresh in my mind.
And I will continue experimenting. What a wonderful opportunity.
See you in the hallway.
The voice just disappeared there for a sec. Okay. Okay. Create additional streams. Kinetic force is increased. Yeah. There's no streams, critic forces increased. Okay. Everything done. Bum.
Good morning, Karnatame. Might we trouble you with some questions of a fairly important nature?
You're already here, so you may as well.
This is a pretty big one, for the record.
We've learned something astounding about the Surgeborn and the fundamental nature of the Source.
Something new?
Yes. When Bryn was engaged in combat down in the Source, the Herald spoke to her of its origins. It told her it hailed from another world. And at the Source is a celestial wound through which the Surgeborn found their way here.
We thought it might have been lying, trying to throw me off. But recently, we realized it's regenerated. So I killed it again. Took a resonance from its pattern to Lane and Dam, and...
It was all true.
all of it.
Dam is very excited about the existence of other worlds, and will continue researching. But it sits ill with me.
How so?
You and I spoke at length on how the truth, the whole truth, must be made available to all. But this isn't just some political secret. It changes our approach to everything. Religion, weaving, the way we place ourselves in the world.
I understand. I assume you've thought a great deal about this. Give me a risk assessment.
That's just the thing. Understanding more about the world. It's beautiful. Wonderful. I have enough perspective, however, to know that the same may not be true for others, especially those who have lived here through the Surge. Would it bring peace to their hearts? Would this knowledge, shared free to all, improve their lives? I fear not. But perhaps I am the fool for thinking that I am wise enough to know what is best for others.
There's a plane going on.
I see. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. First things first, we need to find out what Kenrick knew about this. Let's fetch him, shall we?
What do you want?
I was hoping to draw on some of your memories, if you wouldn't mind. It's in regards to a security matter.
If it's a security matter, then those two shouldn't be privy to it.
That's no longer your call. In the years where you held the Surgeborn Talon in custody, did it ever speak to you of its origins?
I will not incriminate myself.
I'm simply asking a question from someone who's in charge to someone who was in charge.
And you may simply ram that question up where the sun doesn't shine.
You're useless. You may leave.
What an asshole.
I'm useless. I'm not the one chasing religious fairy tales about worlds...
Now he admits it, right?
Ridiculous.
So you knew, and kept it to yourself. That's more than enough from you.
I'll leave you to your hunt for a desert Akala, then.
Exhausting. I'm sorry about him, as always. Now, given the services you have rendered us, I believe you deserve a little trust. So I'll listen to what you think I should tell our people of the Herald and the worlds beyond ours and whatever else.
It's humbling to have earned such trust, and we won't squander it. Before I speak, do you have any thoughts on this, Bryn?
I can't stop thinking about how those who find solace in faith speak about them. Dam can't do this alone. Muse on research possibilities. I'm here to kill monsters, not read the thesis for the lane. Okay. I have a background in science here, you know, like there's like religion, totally fine, no problems with religion, you know. People interpret things different ways, which is the point, what the people do with information as well. Any information, not just religious scripture or text, right? People will interpret scientific information in different ways too, and that's why people have to be very careful with the way that it is worded. What tends to happen is that things are like blown out of context, and these things, and science is misrepresented. That similarly to what happens with religion. Religion, it's like, okay, you're not told to be bad in religion. People use it as an excuse to do bad things sometimes. People will say that, oh yeah, in science, you say, when I fed this vitamin to this animal, if you were doing like an animal experiment, right? Not going to be bothering going to the ethics here, no? Then it's like, okay, the serum levels, the blood levels of a certain protein, or the iron levels in the blood or something went up or whatever, right? And then it's like, this the thing that I gave this animal is suddenly the cure for iron deficiency. That's not necessarily how things work, like it's an animal, it's not a human. You don't know how long it lasts. Based on that information, like, does it just go up for 10 seconds and then go down again? You don't know anything, right? You just say, but that's what people do with scientific information as well. People use science to do harm, like weapons, like all of that shit as well. It's more about what I think. I think it's more about, I prefer having the information available because then there is progress, and this is not necessarily something that creates harm. People that believe in a religion in this world, I think, will still find solace in their faith and find different ways to explain their faith. Maybe even like if it is a different world, they will justify their faith, right? So it's like, okay, there's different worlds, so maybe this is real, maybe it helps them rather than saying like, it's a different world, so faith cannot be real. That doesn't make sense in this setting, right? But you don't make progress in research without multiple people doing the research. You need other people doing it, or else there is going to be bias in research too, to track your methods, make sure they're done the same by different people, and that's how you know that it is an accurate assessment as well. So love Dom, I know you still hold do everything correctly here, but you need like multiple Doms to be doing it. Anyway. And then there will be people that do it badly, so you just keep replicating, and then you do like a meta-analysis, and then it's like, okay, on average, do we see like a change here? Okay, I don't know. So this just became just like a little bit of a rant about information. I like information to be available. Sometimes people even believe information if you give it to them. Oh my god. Yeah, big topic. I'm going for this one.
When I brought the resonance back to camp, Dom said that it meant the arrival of an entirely new field of research.
Science background.
The
I'm
Enclave's
biased because of that as well.
never got to properly understand the Surgeborn before the labs were overrun. I don't know. I think it would be a shame if Dom was the only person in the entire world to have that opportunity. Even though I know he'd do an amazing job. It would be sad to force him to work in secret for the rest of his life.
Not about just in secret. No,
I don't think that'd be ideal, no.
Replication of research,
Lane,
sharing of
please regale us
theories.
with your conclusions.
Bryn covered some of what I've been musing over, but for the sake of completeness, I'll recap it all with my own thoughts. 3 major facets of this problem loom in my mind. First, that of the research possibilities. Keeping this revelation under lock and key would obviously gatekeep untold numbers of discoveries. Second, that of those who adhere to the various religions around the Maida. I fear that disclosing the existence of other worlds to the public at large could upset a great many people.
So here I
at best,
think it
and
might
trigger
not
a
necessarily
holy
be.
war at worst. But they have been waged on far smaller provocations than this.
Yeah, so people would find an excuse to
Finally,
do that,
and
regardless,
most
right?
importantly, so many of the
If they are
problems
the
we've
people that
encountered
wanted it.
here have been because people kept secrets. Whether they were forced to keep them or not, the existence of those secrets significantly hamstrung our efforts to learn about the Enclave. If I had any choice in the matter, I would change that status quo in a heartbeat.
Now is your chance. If you want to seize the moment, I will respect your choice.
The irony is that I find myself faltering on the precipice, because I've now been presented with truly dangerous knowledge. Before I entered the Enclave, before we undertook this wondrous journey, I would have been adamant that everyone know each intimate detail. But now, I believe we must find an acceptable truth to share. But not the whole truth.
What do you have in mind, then?
Subject to your approval, we start by telling your people the story of the source, the entire truth, barring that of the breach. Then we tell the people that, as it stands right now, the monster they saw at the Grand Gate is eternal. But more importantly, we are working on ways to combat it. We keep its true origins close to our chest. Knowing how to contain the Surgeborn is much more important. For now, we tell part of the truth. We share select details and let the people weave their own interpretations. We control the narrative by allowing conflicting narratives to spread. And one
Politics,
day,
right?
the denizens of the Maida may be ready to know the full truth. Is that acceptable to you, Karnatame?
You need the
Yes, it
researchers
is.
to know the whole truth, at
And
least.
might I
right?
say, you would have made
They
an
don't have
amazing
journals
politician
and these things in
had you
this world, I
stayed in
guess.
Udea.
That's kind of you to say.
It's a bit more complicated,
But I
I
have
guess.
too strong a moral core to do that kind of work.
Very understandable.
Oh.
It's not for everyone. Nevertheless, I will communicate our story to the public. Let's hope the ensuing chaos is limited. I'd like to build trust again.
It's the right thing to do.
Lane, Bryn, thank you for your time and assistance.
It has been our everlasting pleasure, Karnatame.
Alright then. Go back to Lane. Wrap this up. I'm not sure about how I feel about like part of truths being shared as well. You know, it's very complicated. But
I feel
sort of have to think about
great
situation
weight
as well.
has
I don't
been
know.
lifted from my shoulders. When one begins to live their life beyond dusty old tomes, they must reckon with the complexities that are part and parcel of lived experience. Which is to say, you have truly been an agent of change in my life, Bryn. In wonderful ways, of course.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
I try my best. But really, I feel good.
How are you feeling about your research as a whole?
Excellent. I'm going to chronicle everything. Even if some of it may not see the light of day for some time, I have faith that it will, someday. And when it does, it will be useful to those who need it.
And what about that? Keeping it under wraps, I mean.
I suppose I have learned a sense of nuance. In Udea, keeping secrets was like breathing, but almost every secret was trivial or petty at best. And, more importantly, kept as a means through which to exert power. That was Kenrick's approach too. Power through secrets. Whereas I would hope that my reasons to keep secrets are driven by a sense of care and kindness. Do you think so?
I do. And more importantly, I know you're the kind of person to seek outside accountability if you need it.
With you and everyone else at my back, my worries are now few and far between. All that remains is to continue my research. And I'll need you to keep bringing back items of interest, of course.
I won't stop looking for things to bring home. Don't you worry.
Then I won't keep you. Get adventuring.
Get adventuring. more than truth. Examine an alternate perspective. With many crises resolved, the band finally has some downtime to help Bryn uncover mysteries. A new mission has been added to the journal. Track the secrets of the Enclave quest, and the Watcher's Whisper will guide Bryn in direction of the closest knowledge fragment, if any remain undiscovered in the current locale. Codex Assistant, Starlight Cape. While many crises resolved and the cave's mystery is somewhat resolved, the brand finally has some downtime. A new mission has been added to the... just Codex. Because it's a separate... Because this is the DLC. Yeah. That's the DLC, and this is just to help with the Codex entries in the rest of the game. Okay. I mean... Well, we can talk to Aurea, but they probably won't be doing that. Because if you're interested in Codex entries, purely I'm sure these are all available online somewhere. But yeah, I'll probably do this at some point in my own downtime, but you know, because it's just fun to run around in this game. But it will just be me reading a bunch of Codex fragment, Codex compile. Me compiling a bunch of codexes. So doing codex compiling after running around like an idiot, finding the fragments and bits of information. That would be what would be happening. Speak to Aurea then. So just got any final bits.
Who would have thought the Herald was telling the truth about the source?
Hell you.
Not me. The fact that it so readily shared that information, it doesn't sit well with me.
Do you think it was trying to manipulate us?
Dude.
Every word it ever spoke was
so much setup for another game.
Just focus on what you do. Answers will come with time.
So exciting.
Will do.
They even did they did DLC, right? This is the DLC of this game. Maybe they're doing an expansion as well. I don't know. Another game, full on another game. That's what we want. And like in the beginning of the game, you can choose if you romance anyone, just like to have that continuous a little bit, you know. I don't know if you that is if you're continuing to play as Bryn. There could be someone else. You could be playing as Eric, because he's pretty generic. And we can build him more as the guide, because you know that could be like his canon thing, you know, because that's completing his companion quest. So I guess I already went over what I think about the game basically when the credits were rolling quite a while ago now, probably like. Has it been an hour? No, half an hour for sure, and half an hour, 40 minutes or something like that since the credits started rolling and we started doing the epilogue and stuff after that. I guess one quick note on the gameplay, again, just like swinging around, just so much fun. I think I already talked about that. Yeah, different skills would be if they are not the same. Yeah, oh my god, I think I covered everything in those credits. What I did want to say is, I think this has to be one of my favorite games this year so far, because, and it's not, I think it got like 70 on Metacritic or something like that, and that's not right. That doesn't make any sense. So much better than 90% of the things that I play. I don't know. Your building, they got lore, you got gameplay, you know. Got all the things that matter in a video game, or like stories told in a nice way. You got different acts here and there. It sets up for another game, you know, like I don't know. And it's like for this, I guess, genre that's like killing shit, you know, big things. Maybe the creatures could have been a bit more different. Somehow, I don't know, like the two flyers, the Drake and the Ice Wing one. It's like, yeah, whatever. Dragon was cool, Ice Wing one was, or whatever. And then, but then they had the Nova, which was a new one in the DLC, and that's very different again. So that was cool, you know. they clearly know what they are doing, and if they have more time and resources, it's like, oh my god, they can do some crazy shit. What else? Yeah, I think so. The only other game that is competing with for pretty good for me so far is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I finished this year. It's from last year, but that's for me the only game that this could be worse than for me. Or else it's my #1 game this year, I think, which is pretty big. I haven't played Clair Obscure yet, but you know, I know I probably will at some point, probably not on the channel, because I will be running around like an idiot doing everything except for anything relevant to watch, you know, so that's a problem. We'll see what I end up doing, but you know, other people desperately want that, right? But yeah, if there's any game recommendations that you want me to play, I am starting an additional little channel, which is basically a replicate of this channel, called Gaming for Charity. Now, this one is called Gaming for Science. I mean, it's just for charity at the end of the day, right? I was more for science, mental health research was sort of the focus. I thought it would be, but I think it's just mental health initiatives, which can include research, funding, and all of that, right? So, just covers things more broadly, and I'm very big on equity, so I think like that's something that just calling it Gaming for Charity would cover a bit more. The reason why I did make another channel and just not change this is because I'm curious about whether the algorithm looks more fondly on newer channel compared to older channel that has basically lived and died for a little bit, like, you know, a few times, lived and died for a few times. You know, if you know the history of the channel, it's basically, you know, like, yeah, started off, you know, and then the second time, then I fell off, blah blah blah. I'm going into the reasons here. There are obviously reasons, and then the second time when I went back to do this again, I was like, oh yeah, I actually got some traction. I was starting to get like views, starting to get subscribers, like just one a day or something, you know. But that's very good for a channel this size, you know, like. If you think about percentage increases, that's crazy, right? It's like 1 to 2 is obviously 100% increase, you know. And like adding a subscriber to 1,000 subscribers is not the same. And then you would see like a trend to more and more. And then I had to stop again. And then now that I restarted this, it is pretty slow, like the first time. So I was like, okay, let's try this theory as well, etc. So basically what might be happening is that I'm uploading to 2 different channels at the same time, with basically the same content, and maybe some different video, different titles and stuff, just to like keep it very interesting. Maybe I add like intro screens, outro screens on this one, the Gaming for Science channel. Now for this Gaming for Charity channel that I'm thinking I'm just going, it will be quite simple. I'm trying to set up, that's also why I'm setting up this recording setting, because I think it will be easier that way, essentially, for, you know, a variety of reasons for me, just to do more videos. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting experiment, you know, for science, right? Keeping that scientist thing going. I love science, you know, it's just so fun. And I went on a couple of rants about this time, I guess, about information and blah blah blah. But you know, we'll see. I even did think about doing like an essay video about what's it called, the sickness that Jasmine had dealt with. Where is it? I wouldn't be here, no, of course it wouldn't. Something's Iris Blake. There we go. Yeah. like what it is, how it looks at different, how it compares to our current mental health conditions and all of that, you know. Anyway, what do you want me to play next? Did you like it? Comment, all of that. Like and subscribe, obviously, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.